Hello and welcome to Prenatal Yoga with Michelle. I am Michelle. Welcome, Mama, to our first prenatal yoga session together. So as you begin your journey with prenatal yoga, you can find some props around your house. You don't necessarily need a yoga block or a bolster. I have a pillow and a blanket. So if you have a pillow and a blanket, feel free to grab them and come on back and we will get started. So Mama, I invite you to come to a comfortable seat. So whatever that looks like for you, just allow yourself to come to a comfortable seat. Maybe your legs are crossed. Maybe the feet are together, outer edges of the feet pressed together. And maybe you sit on this pillow and just allow yourself to settle in. And start to close your eyes or soften your gaze. And just invite your awareness to come to the breath. Notice the inhale. Notice the exhale. As you are here for a moment, just notice any changing patterns with the breathing. And maybe your inhale gets just a little bit deeper. Maybe the exhale fully releases. And notice that slight pause in between the inhale and the exhale. And bringing one hand to baby space, the other hand to your heart center. Continue your breathing. Notice the rise and the fall of baby space with each breath in and each breath out. And taking one more deep breath, fill baby space, and let all of that air go with the exhale. Release the arms down by your sides or on the tops of the thighs. You can blink the eyes open if they are closed. We'll start to find some small circles in any direction. And as you are here, I invite you to start to allow those circles to grow. A little bit bigger, a little bit wider. Maybe you start to move the head gently, the neck, the shoulders. Just allow your movements here to be organic, whatever feels good for you. And take a full circle, pause, and reverse. Start to circle in the opposite direction. And as we continue our practice today, Mama, continue to breathe. And just pay attention to your body. So whatever your practice needs to be today, that's a beautiful thing. And allow yourself to complete your circles coming back to the center. Another breath or two here. And we're going to bring the outer edges of the feet together here. So the outer edges of the feet press together. And you allow the knees to open to either sides of the room. You can hold on to the shins or the thighs here. Take an inhale, long spine through the crown of the head. And as you exhale, round the spine, tuck the chin, gaze towards baby space. And as you inhale, the sternum comes forward and up, the gaze is up. And as you exhale, round the spine. Inhale, sternum comes forward and up. Continue this flow with your own breath, working at your own pace here, so you might be a little bit faster or slower. And at any point, if you would love to pause, maybe with that rounded spine, or maybe you pause, the sternum comes forward and up. Just continue on with your flow. Just one or two more breaths here. Wherever you are, I will meet you back in the center. So coming back to that long spine. And just pause for a moment. And if you'd like to close the eyes one more time, I invite you to do so here. Come back to the breath. Maybe bring hands to baby space. And just find a moment of that connection. Start to blink the eyes open. We're gonna come onto our hands and knees. So if you're sitting on a prop, you can set that prop aside. If you have that blanket, it might feel really good to place the blanket underneath the knees. Just adds a little bit of cushion here. So we're gonna come onto our hands and knees in what is called a tabletop position. You can bring that blanket underneath the knees. You're gonna come onto your hands and really press through the pads of the hands. You want to take some of that weight out of the wrist, and the fingers are wide here. So the wrists are underneath the shoulders, and as baby space grows, you might need to move the knees a little bit wider. And that's okay. Hi, Barkley. So as you come into your tabletop position, you find your foundation. Press into the hands, and we're going to start to flow just as we did before. So on your next inhale, baby space comes towards the earth, sternum is forward and up. And as you exhale, press into the hands, round the spine. Inhale, baby space is towards the earth, sternum forward and up. Exhale, press into the hands, round the spine. Inhaling. And exhale. And continue a few more of this cat-cow flow here with your own rhythm, your own breath. And you have the option, as you exhale, you can start to move those hips towards the heels. Bending into the elbows on your inhale as you rise. Just allow this movement to be organic. And maybe as you come up here, you can find some circles in one direction, keeping the elbows soft. And reversing, so whatever feels good for you here. A few more flows, circles, sways, rocks, whatever feels wonderful for you. And we're going to come into a child's pose. So our child's pose is going to bring us into a resting position. The big toes come together. Knees are wide, create space for baby. And you bring the forehead to the earth, or if you have that pillow, you can grab onto that pillow. And just allow yourself to rest here on the pillow. And your head can be down. If you'd like, you can bring one cheek to rest. And just give yourself a moment to pause here. And just stay and breathe. And one or two more breaths here. And with an inhale, allow yourself to glide back up to that tabletop position. Once more, those wrists are underneath the shoulders. And we're going to squish the knees a little bit behind the hips. So in this case, I have the blanket underneath my knees. So I'm going to squish myself forward a little bit. My knees are behind my hips. But I'm going to keep my wrists underneath my shoulders. The tops of the feet remain on the earth. And pause here for a moment. Find your strength and take a breath in. And let it go. One more time. Inhale. And exhale. Now we're going to start to make our way into a few chaturanga push-ups. So as you focus the gaze downward, you're going to take a breath in at the top. And as you exhale, start to bend the elbows and lower down and forward. Baby space does not touch the earth. Baby space hovers. And inhale. And exhale all the way back up. One more time. Coming forward and down, chaturanga. And coming all the way back up. You might have one or two more in you today. Inhale at the top. Exhale, slowly coming back down. Inhale. inhale all the way back up. One more time, mama, you got this. Exhale. And inhale, we're gonna bring those hips up and back. Keeping the spine long, fingertips reach out in front of you. Press palms into the earth. Coming back to tabletop position, sliding those wrists underneath the shoulders. Tap out the feet a few times. And start to release hips to the heels, forehead to the earth. Once more, grabbing onto that pillow if you would like, pausing in your child's pose. Another breath or two here. We're going to start to slowly rise and start to make your way back to a comfortable seat. So if you would love to sit on those props, feel free. You can sit on the blankets. And start to make your way to a comfortable seat. Find a long spine, hands rest on the tops of the thighs for a moment. And take a few breaths here. And maybe your eyes are closed. Notice the pattern of your breathing in this moment. Bringing one hand to baby space, the other hand to your heart center. Finding that connection and allowing yourself a few moments of stillness. As you feel, notice, pay attention to the rise and the fall of baby space. Releasing the hands to the tops of the thighs. Take a deep breath in, fill baby space, and let it go with a sigh. Thank you, Mama, for joining me for practice today. I'll see you here again next time. Namaste.